Joining us live now, the Deputy Opposition Leader Sussan Ley. Sussan, good to see you. I know that you use Rex, I use Rex, many others use Rex. How much of a blow is this for regional Australia?
Pete, Rex is an airline that was born in the Riverina. It's very close to our hearts all across country Australia. Today I feel for the pilots, for the flight attendants, the wonderful friendly crews that we see every day, and for the families which are part of our family in these areas. So it's a tough day, it's a tough period, but please remember it's only the city-to-city Rex flights that have been under threat at this stage and in fact have ceased. I'm confident that we'll be getting on country airlines in regional Australia flown by Rex. But today the Prime Minister needs to guarantee that regional Australians will not be cut off or worse off. He's been a Transport Minister. He knows the importance of regional connectivity. His government doesn't tend to live in regional Australia, but he should know how important it is that we maintain those airline connections, because there are some ports where the only airline you have is Rex.
Yeah, look, it does seem as though, the company was ambitious, perhaps too ambitious in the end, but should the government be considering a bailout at all?
I wouldn't use the term bailout, and there's been lots of analysis, I've read it too, Pete, about the corporate strategy, the decision to enter the Sydney-Melbourne route, which is one of the most competitive in the world, and so on. But how we got here is not the point right now, and pointing the finger of criticism is not the point. Rex is a sound, well-managed country airline in terms of its country routes between the ports right across this nation and the capital cities, and it's done that for years. As I said, people will analyse what the recent developments
So you don't blame the company for trying to be too ambitious?
I'm not here to blame the company. And by the way, the federal government has sat on a review into aviation, which was designed to make aviation more competitive and less expensive. This includes the slots, the access to Sydney Airport, which still hasn't been resolved. So where is the action from the Albanese government to actually generate the environment which makes our aviation sector more competitive, which is good for new entrants? We have one of the most concentrated aviation sectors in the world. But as a Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese needs to say, this is where we are, this is where country communities are at, what can I do to help them, what can I do to assist in maintaining services to these country communities for people who may not have any alternatives. And Tasmania and Broken Hill come to mind, places I know very well, that Rex is the only access into some of those areas.